The night Chloe and I officially became a couple, the evening breeze in Los Angeles was exceptionally chilly. Resting in my arms, she suddenly, and without warning, burst into tears. She told me she had seen the future in a bizarre dream.
I don't remember exactly what happened, Arnold. I only remember my future self living in endless regret. Promise me, no matter what messed up things I do in the future, you must give me 3 chances, okay?
At that time, I was deeply in love with this girl, who was struggling at the bottom of Hollywood for her dreams. Naturally, I kissed her without hesitation, dismissing it as the romantic nonsense of a young girl. But later, when she stood on the Grammy stage, world famous, and when she and her young male assistant became inseparable behind the spotlight, she had long since thrown that promise to the back of her mind. Until this very moment, the moment I signed my name on the divorce papers, a ghostly voice suddenly echoed in my ear.
Arnold, you promised me, didn't you? 3 chances.
My phone screen lit up with an image from Chloe's assistant, Finley.
Arnold, I suppose a gentleman like you wouldn't mind fulfilling the true love between Chloe and me.
Beneath the text was a series of sickening, high-definition attachments, a late-night kiss under the Eiffel Tower, holding hands tightly in front of artworks in the Louvre. It had been 7 years. For the sake of her music career, I had worked day and night without sleep. I worked as a cheap producer, begged countless arrogant investors, and suffered from stomach bleeding after countless Hollywood business hangovers. I risked my life to build an independent entertainment label, turning her into a pop diva adored across America. Yet, for those global trips we once dreamed about together, she ultimately chose to bring her boy toy assistant along instead. I laughed mockingly at myself. Without hesitation, I unscrewed my fountain pen, preparing to sign the divorce agreement.
Arnold, no. You promised to give me 3 chances.
I whipped my head around. The 19-year-old Chloe was standing beautifully right by the desk. Her figure bore a translucent, illusory quality, and she was wearing the vintage floral dress I had worked part-time for 3 weeks to buy for less than $50 at a second-hand market back then. She was so beautiful then, an untainted beauty. Looking at this phantom spanning across time, I smiled miserably.
Okay, then 3 times.
Then, right at that moment, my phone vibrated violently. It was the 27-year-old Chloe calling.
Arnold! How many times have I warned you not to target Finley? He's just a dutiful assistant. It's tiring enough for him to fly across the globe with me every day. If you use those contracts in your hands to threaten him again, tomorrow's vacation plan to Malibu is canceled.
I turned my head to look at the 19-year-old Chloe.
How could she become like this? How could she treat you this way?
You've grown quite bold, Arnold. I hear you've been in contact with lawyers recently. You have 30 minutes. Get to the Century City headquarters office immediately, otherwise...
The 19-year-old Chloe suddenly lunged forward. Her illusory finger actually managed to swipe across the screen, hanging up the phone directly.
The first chance, Chloe.
I didn't know if I was saying this to the illusion before my eyes, or to my past self. Due to the daily gridlock on Santa Monica Boulevard, 40 minutes had already passed by the time I pushed open the door to Chloe's CEO office on the top floor of the Wind Entertainment building.
Arnold, my tolerance has its limits.
Get to the point.
I interrupted her coldly, walking straight to the Italian sofa on the side, and sitting down, not even bothering to glance at her. At this moment, the little assistant Finley was shrinking back into the corner of the desk. His eyes were slightly red, and he was deliberately using his sleeve to cover his left wrist.
What kind of attitude is that? Are you still trying to evade responsibility even now?
Finley spoke up at the right moment, his voice carrying just the right amount of trembling.
Sister, Chloe, forget it. It's just a watch. Don't blame Mr. Arnold.
Did you hear that? He's still making excuses for you. Arnold, I didn't expect you to become so petty. I'm giving you one last chance. Give the watch back to Finley.
This clumsy framing tactic had been played out too many times. The girl who used to side with me unconditionally had now become the sharpest knife in someone else's hand. I didn't argue. I stood up, unclasped the worn-out vintage Rolex from my left wrist, and threw it lightly in front of Finley's leather shoes, like a piece of garbage.
Arnold, please don't cheapen yourself like this.
Meanwhile,
Arnold, do you really think I don't dare to fire you?
I turned toward the door.
Director Chloe, please don't be angry. Maybe that watch holds some special meaning for Mr. Arnold. If that's the case, I don't mind. Anyway, no one has ever celebrated a birthday with me since I was a kid. To be able to stay by your side is enough to satisfy.
I pushed the door open to leave.
Arnold, take that watch back. That was my gift to you, not for that bastard.
She cried open-heartedly.
Okay, but this is the second chance. Are you sure you want to use it?
The 19-year-old her nodded frantically. I sighed and turned back into the office. However, when I pushed the door open again, Finley had his arm halfway around Chloe's waist, his lips suggestively pressed against her ear as he whispered. Seeing me return, the two separated in a slight panic.
Arnold, do you not understand the concept of privacy? Do you not how to knock before entering?
I ignored her, walking straight over and bending down to pick up the broken old watch from the floor. But Finley's leather shoe covertly stepped onto the watch strap. I stopped my movement and looked at him coldly.
Move.
Mr. Arnold, I really was just comforting Director Chloe.
Arnold, look at what kind of lunatic you are right now. Finley is being so sensible, yet you target him at every turn. Apologize to him, right now!
I didn't pay attention to the diva in front of me. Instead, I turned my head slightly to look at the 19-year-old illusion standing aside. To spare this illusion from further agony, I compliantly closed my eyes and whispered a single phrase.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Arnold, it's all right, really. There's no need for this.
I picked up the old watch, its crystal shattered from being stepped on, and left the Wind Entertainment building without looking back. On the road driving toward the coast, the 19-year-old Chloe sat in the passenger seat, repeatedly saying, "I'm sorry," to me, the entire way.
It's okay, sweetheart. It's not your fault. Do you know what day tomorrow is?
The girl froze for a moment, glanced at the date on the dashboard, and a flush of youthful shyness.
It's the day you proposed to me.
Very clever.
6 years ago, also on Valentine's Day, we had promised that no matter whether we were poor or wealthy in the future, we would fulfill our wedding vows on the beaches of Malibu.
Arnold, do you want to know why I appeared here? On the night I confessed my feelings to you, I made a wish upon a shooting star. The deity allowed me to see fragments of the future, but I wouldn't retain the memories until midnight tomorrow, when I will remember the complete future.
The next day, in the center of the blossoming flowers, Chloe was holding Finley's hand tightly. Seeing me appear,
Arnold? You actually tracked me here? You stalker!
The third chance is used up, Chloe.
Arnold, please. Maybe these are surprises she prepared for you? Can we go over and see, please?
Arnold, name your price. How long do you intend to keep this tantrum up? I haven't even settled the score with you for grabbing that watch, and now you're here to ruin the scene I specifically rented out to comfort Finley?
No, I just came to listen to the waves. And maybe watch some fireworks.
even thoughtfully leaving a spot for the invisible 19-year-old girl beside me. Chloe was choked up by my nonchalant attitude. As night fell and the midnight bell was about to chime, the most brilliant Valentine's Day I drew from my coated diamond ring that I had prepared for years, one that wasn't expensive. I dropped to one knee, facing the girl beside me whom only I could see, her eyes red from crying.
Chloe, will you marry me?
Are you still willing to marry someone like me?
I will always love the 19-year-old you.
I do! Arnold, I do!
However, just as I was about to slip the ring onto her fingertip, the laws of physics reclaimed their mercy at this exact moment. The 19-year-old Chloe dissolved into a sky of golden stardust within the breeze, completely vanishing from my sight. My tears finally broke through the dam.
Goodbye, my girl.
Oh, Director Chloe, look at how pitiful Mr. Arnold is. Kneeling on one knee to the air like that, is he crazy? I'm the lucky one, getting to stay by the side of the best woman in America.
But Chloe at this moment looked as if her soul had suddenly been hollowed out. For some unknown reason, her face was already covered in tears.
Arnold! Don't go!
Chloe's voice was trembling, carrying a long-absent tone of sheer terror. I stopped my footsteps. She seemed to want to rush over and grab me, but after seeing my gaze, cold as ice, she froze mid-step. The revival of her memories left her face deathly pale. I didn't give her another chance to speak. I turned and got into the car. The second the 19-year-old Chloe vanished, the first half of my life died with her. Returning to the Beverly Hills villa, I signed the divorce papers overnight. Since Chloe was worth hundreds of millions, while I chose to leave with nothing, this divorce lawsuit wouldn't even require much delay legally. Looking at our old photo on the desk, the two of us in the picture were wearing cheap white t-shirts, smiling like two idiots. This villa was personally designed according to her dreams back then. A cozy American country kitchen, expansive floor-to-ceiling windows. But after buying it, the number of times she returned could be counted on one hand. She was too busy with tours, busy vacationing in Europe with her assistant. I laughed mockingly to myself.
To hell with romance.
Taking my passport, I decisively booked a one-way ticket flying to Moscow 2 hours later. Before leaving, I changed all the security codes to the villa. Just after I had left for the airport road, a thoroughly intoxicated Chloe stumbled out of her car and rushed back to the villa. Incorrect password. Incorrect password.
Damn it, how can it be wrong? Arnold! Open the door, I know I was wrong!
It wasn't until she opened her phone with trembling hands and saw the copy of the divorce agreement I sent to the lawyer half an hour ago that she felt as if struck by lightning. She frantically dialed my number, but my phone had already been switched to airplane mode. I originally thought this would be a journey to heal my soul in Siberia, but I didn't expect the shadows of Hollywood to stretch even longer than I imagined. At a private ski resort on the outskirts of Moscow, right after I completed a snowboard run, several masked thugs suddenly rushed out from the side of the ski trail and knocked me unconscious with short clubs. When I woke up again, I was tied up inside a dilapidated logging but I would recognize that fair yet distorted face even if it turned to ash. Finley.
Hi, Mr. Arnold. A reunion in a foreign land, is it a surprise?
I subtly glanced down at the chest area of my down jacket. Fortunately, my GoPro micro camera had been in a stealth recording state.
Finley, what do you want to do?
Boss, move faster. The ski resort will soon notice someone is missing. We must evacuate immediately after disguising it as an accident.
Move faster?
Shut up! I gave you guys millions of dollars!
Turning around to slap me hard across the face. Tugging my hair, he sneered maliciously.
Do you know what I sacrificed to please that bitch, Chloe? I washed her feet, gave her massages, and served her like a dog because of your goddamn proposal ceremony. She actually wants to blacklist me and tell me to get loosed?
Finley roared hysterically.
But it doesn't matter. As long as you die here, die in a cross-border skiing accidental incident, Chloe will still depend on me in her breakdown.
Her money, her fame will all be mine in the end.
He pulled a sharp hunting knife from...
But before you die, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this process.
The cold blade scraped across my cheek.
Finley, calm down. I've already signed the divorce agreement with her. I won't take a single cent from her. I'm no threat to you at all. If I'm murdered abroad, Interpol and Moscow police will trace it back to you through your social connections.
An accident! I told you, this is a perfect accident!
Finley had completely lost his sanity. He suddenly drove the hunting knife straight into my restrained left arm. Severe, excruciating pain instantly assaulted my brain. I bit down hard on my jaw, swallowing the groan back into my stomach, because I knew this type of antisocial personality would only get more excited upon seeing the victim suffer.
Hard bone? Let's see how long you can hold out.
He pulled the knife out and stabbed downward viciously once more. Blood spread across my coat, steaming slightly in the freezing air before turning cold rapidly. My left arm gradually lost all sensation, and my consciousness began to blur. Just as Finley grew tired of the game, and prepared to signal the Russian thugs to strangle me with a rope to fake a suffocation accident, the wooden door and windows of the cabin shattered simultaneously from flashbangs. The blinding light and high decibel blast instantly stripped. A team of fully armed Russian special forces, Alman, smashed through the windows, flawlessly neutralizing Finley and the thugs on the ground. Behind the special forces, a pale-faced, tear-streaked Chloe rushed inside. Kneeling beside the pool of my blood, she screamed my name hysterically.
Chloe.
To say one final sentence to her.
No, I don't just not love you. I hate you.
Inside the private hospital in St. Petersburg, the luxury ward was dead silent.
Thank God your life is saved.
Looking at me with regret.
But the nerve damage in your left arm is severe. Even with rehabilitation, you won't be able to lift heavy objects or engage in strenuous exercise in the future. In other words, it's essentially useless.
After the doctor left, Chloe, who had stayed outside the door for 3 days and 3 nights with bloodshot eyes, walked in.
Arnold.
She tried to reach for my right hand.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Get out. Don't make me call the security.
I turned my head to look at the falling snow outside the window.
I remember everything, Arnold. The dream from that night when I was 19. I remember it all. It's my fault. I was blinded by Hollywood's vanity. Please give me one more chance.
I let out a cold laugh, turning my head back to stare intently at her exquisite yet hypocritical face.
Chloe, do you remember the last words you said to me before you disappeared when you were 19?
She froze.
She said, Arnold, if I had known the ending would be like this, I should have left you on that day when I was 19 so that you wouldn't get hurt. And at that time I said to myself, I don't regret meeting you, so I am willing to give you one last chance. But that third chance has already died on Malibu Beach, together with the girl who loved me. By the way, my current disability is also thanks to your true love assistant.
Several tall private bodyguards pushed open the door and entered. Amidst Chloe's desperate cries, they forcefully escorted the plummeting pop diva out of the hospital. The video recorded by the GoPro on my chest became state's evidence. Due to involving cross-border kidnapping and intentional assault, Finley was sentenced to life imprisonment by a Russian court, destined to spend the rest of his days in Siberia's harshest Black Dolphin prison. A month later, I returned to the United States with a left arm that could no longer exert force. I subsequently liquidated all my shares in the independent label, completely removing myself from this filthy industry. On the very night I landed in Los Angeles, a piece of news sent shockwaves through America. Pop diva Chloe found dead of an overdose inside Beverly Hills mansion. Media outlets disclosed that the police discovered she had been repeatedly playing the GoPro footage of Finley, torturing me before committing suicide. Caught in endless remorse and the condemnation of public opinion, she chose to end her own life. Hearing this news, my heart felt extraordinarily at peace. It was only when I occasionally thought of that 19-year-old girl wearing the $50 floral dress that my chest would still ache slightly. 3 years later, I had grown accustomed to a life of global travel. In Reykjavik, Iceland, I met a Nordic girl who ran a flower shop. She didn't care for chasing fame or wealth. She only liked to drink hot cocoa with me. Under the northern lights, on the night we officially established a relationship, when I returned to the hotel bedroom, I suddenly caught a whiff of a long-lost, cheap rose perfume scent in the air. That was the birthday gift I bought for the 19-year-old Chloe, using my very first part-time paycheck. I didn't see anything that night, but in the biting Icelandic wind, I seemed to hear the soft murmur of a young girl.
Arnold, farewell, and I'm sorry.
The 19-year-old you never did anything wrong.
Standing by the window, watching the vast aurora overhead, I responded softly,